change. However, when it comes to doing some of the necessary things that you need to do in order to obtain the blessings of God and prosperity, we negate many times. It's interesting because this word blessing, it starts out in the Hebrew language, it means happiness, it means to be straight, it means to be level, and it means to be relieved. Listen to what he says. He says, blessed is the man, happy is the man, straight is the man, level is the man, and relieved is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. There are several lessons that you can glean out of this text that if you want to put your life on the pathway to prosperity, the first thing is understand this, that prosperity is possible for everybody. Look at your neighbor. Say, neighbor, to be blessed and prosperous is available to everybody, even you. Let me say it again. If you have the possibility of being blessed and living a prosperous life, you see, most of the time we don't move out of our information base, and because sometimes we think God will bless everybody but us, and we got a negative outlook on ourselves, and we never put ourselves in the pathway of being blessed because we don't think we deserve the blessing. Well, I came to tell you, in actuality, you don't deserve to be blessed, but when you're living under the grace and the mercy of God, as a result of your relationship, not your practice, but your position, it puts you in good vicinity to be blessed of God. When I get up in the morning, I expect a blessing. When I go through my day during the day, I expect a blessing. When I lay down at night, I expect God to bless me. And the tragedy with many of you, you don't have any levels of expectation. Sometimes I go to the mailbox, I'm not expecting a check I don't think will be there, but I expect a check to be in that mail anyway because I'm a child of God. If you're going to be and lead a prosperous life, if you're going to have a blessed life, you have to have expectations. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, what are you expecting? But then, not only is that a possibility of blessedness or prosperity, the other thing is I've discovered that my blessings have more to do with me and what I do than what a person will do for me. See, that's why some of y'all in bad relationships. Say that. You think your sugar daddy is the answer. Well, the same God that you think bless the sugar daddy can bless you. Look, remember I told you last week, 3 John 2 says, beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospers. And that word prosper doesn't have some kind of abundance, but yet it is also contingent upon you having the responsibility to make sure you cultivate your mind to the point and place where it need be. See, sometimes you keep allowing people who really don't like you to influence your life. And when you allow people to influence your life who really don't like you, matter of fact, they can't even handle their lives themselves, and you put all of your power in their hands. And when you just take the time to do the things that God wants you to do, can't nobody stop you. Listen, you may be delayed, but you cannot be denied when you do it God's way. If it is to be, it is unto me. Normally, I'm in trouble, I had a hand in it. And if I'm going to be delivered, I got a hand in that. Not only do I have the possibility of being blessed, I know that blessing lies within my personhood. But then, he also says, your blessings is based on who you are in close proximity to. Look what he says. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of scornful. Who is it that's hanging on to you? What crowd do you hang around with? Notice he says the progression pattern is you start walking, then you go to standing, then you start sitting. In every place you evil. And so you want God to bless you, but God has cursed what you're hanging around. You don't believe it, do you? Look at the text. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel. That word counsel, in the Hebrew, it means the advice. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the advice of the ungodly. That word ungodly, it means to be unjust, rendering to no man his due, and he who has not God in him. How many of y'all get advice from people who ain't even saved? I told y'all about a lady called me about a couple of years ago, and she was going through, and rather than to call me, that nut called an unbeliever. And then she gonna call me and question me with the questions that the unbeliever told her. Now, why are you hanging around with folks who going in a totally different direction than you? Ain't no God in them, don't care nothing about God. And what blows my mind, a lot of y'all, I've seen many of y'all getting with, especially you women. I've seen more women in the 22 years that I've been in this church that got converted by sex. Converted away from Christianity because you was in this church slobbing and crying for a man. You didn't ask God for what kind of man. And then you got a man, and that man did not like the God that you prayed to for. And when you got that man, you left your God for that man. And you want your life to be prosperous. But your advice, now if you're smart, notice, Bonnie, this dude started walking, and the ungodly started questioning him so much about his God that rather than to keep on walking by that chunk, they start standing still. They start standing in the way of sinners. That word sinner means to miss the mark. And it means to pass over the prohibited limits. Now here you are. You're saved. You are in covenant relationship with God. And now you're trying to grow as God would have you to grow, but your information base is so limited, and the only thing you are ever around is unbelievers. And you're wondering why your life is this way. He says, no, standeth in the way of sinners, but look at this. He says, but then you stop walking and you started standing. Then you left from standing, now you sit. This is interesting because that word sit in the Hebrew language, it means to settle and it means to marry. Did y'all hear what I said? It means to settle and it means to marry. You started out walking with the ungodly. The ungodly then had you to stand with sinners. And now the scornful, you done sat down with them and couldn't be married to them. That word scornful is interesting. It means he who has no religion. It means to mock. It means to deride. In other words, you are marrying and connected to somebody who made fun of your religion. Who's in your proximity? Who's in your circle? Is it some people in your life you need to take a vacation from?
Say that. Say it, Rev.
Y'all, misery y'all making this long, so let me see if I can give you a key on whether or not there's some people you need to get out of your